The episode starts off with Joe, Kari and TK, as well as their partner Digimon discovering that the hot springs are all gone. We are then introduced to Kabukimon. A kabuki is a classic Japanese drama played in the kabuki theaters. So could the hot springs not being there be a hoax played by the Gekkomon and Kabukimon? Theater and drama involves a lot of acting. So could this all be fake to lure in Gatomon and Patamon? Because right now they are both at their weakest. It's the perfect time to capture them. Fun fact, Gatomon can armor Digivolve into Kabukimon using the Digi-Egg of Sincerity or Purity in the Japanese version, which is why he has flowers as hands. Kabukimon then leads the team inside to where the one remaining hot spring that's still in operation. But we see an old enemy, Shogun Gekkomon, bathing in that one hot spring. As it turns out, the Kabukimon were never going to let them bathe in the hot spring, as that is Shogun Gekkomon's personal hot spring. But what happens next is both hilarious and extremely disturbing at the same time. I would lean towards more disturbing than funny, as Joe's reactions is what's making this scene funny in the first place. Shogun Gekkomon wants to make Gomamon his bride. Yo, what the hell is happening here? Even Joe loses all of his senses. He doesn't know what he's seeing. Joe perfectly represents us in this scenario. As he was trying to get Gomamon back, Shogun Gekkomon turned Joe and the others into Team Rocket, blasting them away again. And then the curtains were going down and Kabukimon was telling Shogun Gekkomon to enjoy, with Gomamon screaming for help. This is disturbing. Am I the only one who is creeped out by this? I never ever liked Shogun Gekkomon. His face just pisses me off. It's like he's on drugs 24/7. Even Gekkomon looks weird. It's the face, it's such an annoying face that both these Digimon have. Maybe that's the reason why Mimi was so mean to them back in the original, in the Princess Karaoke episode. Why didn't Joe make Gogomon Digivolve right there and then? Make him Digivolve to Ultimate straight away. The other two are tired, but nothing was mentioned about Gomamon being tired. So why couldn't he fight right there? It's the same logic as the partner Digimon not going straight into their Ultimate or Mega forms. They would rather go Champion first and then go to Ultimate. Or even in Gabumon and Agumon's case, not being able to warp Digivolve straight into Mega. Instead, they go to Champion, then Ultimate, and then finally to Mega. It's just endless padding of the episode. Why not start off at your strongest form straight away? It never made any sense to me, and in this series, in Digimon 2020 more specifically, they do this a lot. Joe goes full on Rambo mode with his book and tries to save Gomamon single-handedly, but fails and gets blown away by the Gekkomon. But who comes in to break the fall? Agumon. And just in time as well, because literally a few minutes before Agumon's entrance, Kari and TK were asking Joe to start a fire. Well, Agumon is here now, so he can solve that issue. Joe comes up with a plan to lure the Shogun Gekkomon out by making a new hot spring. What's jokes is Shogun Gekkomon is actually being carried out in a hot bath outside. Then later, when the Gomamon and Nanimon switch happened, it horrified Shogun Gekkomon. That was funny. The show has a good sense of humor when the humor is done well. I'll give the show that. But good humor doesn't mean it's a good episode. I'll go more in depth later with that. And this is what I was talking about earlier on with the partner Digimon first going into Champion and then to Ultimate. In this very episode, they did it again. Shogun Gekkomon is an Ultimate level Digimon. So why are you fighting him as Ikakumon, a Champion Digimon? Why didn't you Digivolve again to Zudomon, Ultimate versus Ultimate? This has been bothering me for a long time, but I never really mentioned it in my reviews because I didn't feel it was that big of a deal. But it is. If you can show how much of a creep Shogun Gekkomon is, then you can surely let us have a logical battle with two Ultimates going at it straight away, instead of just lingering around with the Ikakumon struggling against Shogun Gekkomon. That scene where the Nanimon, Blossomon, as well as Kari and TK and their partner Digimon were all shocked with horror, that's not them, that's us, the audience, being shocked on how an episode with this level of tone can come after the battle with Zed Millennium. I thought we were going to get this evil Digimon that's stronger than Zed Millennium, the real puppet master behind the anarchy that Zed Millennium created. Well, we're not getting that in this episode. Zudomon and Metal Greymon eventually make their entrance, and with both of them together, the enemies in this episode have no chance in hell. The episode ends with the hot springs return, and Joe ends up being called a lord, which is quite cool. He always wanted to be respected, and now an ultimate level Digimon is calling him a lord. That's epic for Joe. Even Tai is not being called the Lord. But guys, I can't say this was a good episode. Yes, it made me laugh in a few occasions, but it was still a nothing episode. Why do we need episodes like this? Wouldn't it be better to have episodes where the team finds out more clues about who the real villain of the series is, or discovering any new information about the Great Catastrophe, or even focus on Izzy retrieving the missing data? Why this? Why was this shown to us? This was bad. It did nothing for the plot going forward. Absolutely nothing. There's not that many episodes left, and you have this supposed big bad villain who is apparently stronger than Zed Millennium. Let me remind you, Zed Millennium is an evil god Digimon. You need an insane amount of build-up and hype for the next villain coming in, who is said to be the mastermind behind everything. Leave some clues. Let the characters discover some stuff. Why do we need this episode? Remember what I said in the beginning of the review, where it could be a trap to lure Gatomon and Patamon in? That made more sense than the outcome of this episode. This episode was the epitome of a filler episode, which is such a shame. They have 10 episodes left. Hopefully it gets better. We didn't even see Vikemon in this episode, but we saw Phoenixmon in the previous episode. Does this mean Joe and Mimi are going to get shafted again? Hopefully not, but anyway, thank you for watching this video, and guys, let me know your thoughts on this episode. If you want to rant on this episode, feel free to let loose in the comments. And if you actually liked this episode, I don't know why you would, but if you did, please let me know why you liked it. And like I always say, care for nothing.